Where to start with that one? Crazy kind of first half.
Putting it mildly. Yeah, I don't think I have to say too much on that. I think for us there was a lot of disruption. Gilly went off early. A couple of yellows, a red. Yeah, quite bizarre. Thought we handled all that pretty well. 10-2 penalty count at half time, which, and you know, to go in 6-0 with the amount of time we spent on our own line and that adversity I've just mentioned. Reasonably happy with that. Second half were much better. When we spent some time at that end of the field, we looked threatening each time we got there. But unfortunately, as much as can't blame the referee for everything, you know, we come up with too many soft drop balls and stuff, which we can control that. We can't control anything else. We need to be better at that. I thought the effort was really good. I thought they tried really hard. Probably due to the adversity again, fatigued a bit near end where it was there to be won. I thought we still could have nicked it and come up with a couple of dumb plays, I think, because of that tiredness.
If you would, because obviously you lost your half back and your full back, which left Scott seemed to be trying to do everything.
Yeah, I thought he did well in that. He took control of it, which I expected, to be honest. I thought Woody had a couple of nice touches as well in amongst. Yeah, I've not got any real complaints about ours other than that personal responsibility of coming up with a ball. I think we need to be a bit better there. A couple of cold ones just got dropped, which we shouldn't give away. But as I say, it is what it is, and we can't control some of the things that happened out there tonight. Bad conditions probably always made it going to be, you know, a bit tighter than, not tighter than it could have been, but a tighter game in terms of how we played. You know, credit to Dewsbury, I suppose, as well. I thought they did what they need to do, and they certainly didn't drop the ball as much as we did.
How about Gilmore?
I'm not sure. The immediate thing is he's pulled his hammer, so it's now a matter of giving him a little bit of time to settle down and assess how long that'll be. Hopefully not too long.
So that's definitely no game Saturday for him, would you thought?
I don't think I've seen any turnaround in 4 days now, so no, they'll both play this week.
What did you make of the penalty count and it's obviously Leroy went for team warning. Barber,
I think Ed's a trailing leg. He judged to have tripped. I think it might have been Joe Martin, I'm not 100% sure. 10-2, and then after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it's 4-0 to us in second half. Tells a bit of a story, I think. Yeah, the 10 metres weren't great.
And Scott's red card punching?
That was, yeah, he punched after being defenceless on the floor, having a knee dropped in his face, which that's a red card. I'm not sure defending yourself should be, but it's up to them, isn't it?
Obviously on to Saturday now, but having made the semis last year, you've now got a tight turnaround to try and stick in the comp this year.
Yeah, obviously got Sheffield, who we had a tough game against last time out as well, and it would be nice to go on and have a good run in Cup, and you know we'll certainly go in for a good performance on Saturday. Didn't change a great deal because I think the sending off probably doesn't hurt us because it'll be another week before that comes into play. Gilly, yeah, it's a bump, but you know we've got a few bodies available who can play that position, so it is what it is. That's what happens. That's what your squad's for, isn't it?
What are your options in that for that 7?
Well, we could see Woody move up there, which is I'd say is quite likely, or we could see it between Scott and Woody moving into that position. After that, longer term, we'll try and assess that when we know what we're looking at with Gilly.
But there's the option of dual reg, I suppose.
Yeah, that's something we can look at. Obviously, this week being the Cup, obviously who have that luxury anyway. So no, we're not. I don't think we're in too bad shape there. Squad's pretty healthy, so we'll just crack on.
No Tyra tonight and no Fairbank today.
No, Bobby's against Sheffield ribs. To play 2 in a week, we're probably never going to work. And Steve, that was my decision, along with obviously the coaching staff, that we felt we've got fit bodies who haven't been playing a long time since the last game, and we need to have a look at them so we can start looking at what is our best team. And I think Steve's been okay. He's been a mainstay of that edge for a long time, so I can understand probably a raised eyebrow in him not playing. But you know, we have got other bodies who can play there, and we won't know what they do until we put them in. I thought both centres tonight were pretty good.
So is Fairbank likely to play?
Yeah, I think Bob should be right for the weekend. Probably just move straight in for Ollie Wilson. Obviously, they won't be available to us.
How much of a setback is a result like that so early in the year? Obviously, you want to get your season off to a really good start, and then to lose a home game like that, it's hard to take. Really.
I don't know. I think it depends how you look at it. Yeah, it's not nice to lose. It's 2 points. I think we should have won. But reality is, it's not always as cut and dry as that. I think they'll take a lot out of that game because I think they showed some real character. You know, in the face of that adversity, defending the goal line with 11 men and. You know, Dewsbury having to take kicks to go ahead. No, it's not good. I think if you look at the league as a whole for the last few years, whether it's the top 4, top 5 we're in now, you can only afford to lose so many. So that means that's one of those crossed off now that we can probably afford to lose, so we have to move on.
And obviously the conditions all week have been well documented. How do you think the lads coped with the pitch?
All right.
How do you think the pitch was out there?
I don't think it was a great deal worse than it was Sunday, to be honest. I thought it held up alright, but just looking back at it coming up the stairs there, it looks a bit cut up, but I think it could have been a lot worse. It certainly weren't Dewsbury this time last year. That was a mess. But no, it is what it is. Unfortunately, until some serious money's thrown at it, so it's fit for a dual sport, playing on it week in, week out, this will happen.
And obviously a defeat tonight, but a chance to get straight back and redeem yourself. So
yeah, definitely. That's the beauty of sport, isn't it? In our sport, especially when you play every week, you have to move on to the next one regardless. So yeah, we've done our work, prep work already, so we can get crack straight on with that on Thursday night. But it'll be a little bit of a lighter week, obviously, to make up for the impacts they've gone through tonight. And yeah, we'll go over to Wakefield, isn't it? Wakefield. We'll go over there with our heads up. We shouldn't be too down in dumps. Yeah, we've lost the points, but I think in terms of where we need to be, our effort areas, I think we're there. We'll start getting the rub of the green at some point, I think. We'll see.
What do you think the difference between the two sides tonight was?
I think the penalty count, and whether we're at fault there or the call's right or wrong, whatever it is too far apart, and there's some areas, some just loose drops, loose carries where we're coming up with unforced errors. They weren't belting us and making us drop ball. We're just coming a little bit messy, hands in the ruck as they always are. We need to be better and come up with ball, and if we do that, we actually get some territory. And as you saw, whenever we did get down there, it almost looked like we were going to score every time we stretched them. Unfortunately, we didn't spend enough time down there. They played smart though. Liam Finn moved in Oker and just sort of steered them around and made sure they finished in right spots.
Certainly at the start of that second half, you get them 2 quick fire tries, you appear to have a bit of momentum, and then all of a sudden it dis.
Yeah, well, we score one, and the kick off. Woody's not stood where he needs to be, so instead of coming onto the ball, he's left room behind him, so he's got to try and go back, and that's a bit messy. Concede straight away. Then I said before, I think we could have nicked it at the end. There was a play where we go right to the edge and we try forcing that ball, and I think Jody might have snatched at it. It was play 3. I think we just needed to get close to their line. I think it would have happened for us, but ifs and buts.
And right at the death, James Woodburn just couldn't deal with that kick into the in-goal area.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's one of them. If he had his time over, he'd be putting it down towards the Nissan garage down there, I think. But I thought Woody were good. He started in left centre for us, and I thought he were good. He did some good work there, and probably didn't see as much in that first half. Well, for that first 30 minutes or so, he was there just because of the fact we're on our line doing a lot of defence, and then moved him into playing fullback. Had a bit of a chat with him at half time, and Scott were into him as well about what he needed to do, cause understanding what they're likely to do. Now we're down a man. Woody had to defend in the line and work really hard across the ruck, so I'm pretty happy with Woody. We're good. Just unfortunate, it's one of them things. Another night he belts it straight out.
Clearly a frustrating evening.
Yeah, frustrating, and we'll probably get bagged left, right and centre by everyone, but I'm pretty happy with what they did effort-wise. Thought they tried really hard, and you can't coach the penalty. It's not the same bloke giving the penalty all the time. It's not the same bloke dropping it all the time. Not trying to shoulder the blame, but there's a bit of responsibility there where we just need to tidy up a bit, give ourselves a chance, because at the minute we're just doing it tough.